you may have to physically practice if you want to really understand the concepts and apply them. So we have Ram, Mohan and Sohan and Hari as partners in a firm sharing profits in the ratio of 4:3:1. That is the old profit ratio. On 1st April 2016, their balance sheet is as follows. So they have this balance sheet of these four people. We have capital accounts on the liability side. Okay, so please know that. And we have workmen compensation reserve, which I told you that it will go to revaluation account. Okay, so keep this information in your mind. We will come back to it later. So fixed assets and current assets. Okay, so these also we have now. Now let us read this additional information, because additional information will give us more information on how to treat the information that are already available here in the balance sheet. So from the above date, the partners decided to share the future profits in the ratio of 1:2:3:4. For this purpose, the goodwill of 80,000, which I told you, when you see a goodwill in the additional information, you must immediately start thinking of calculation of sacrificed and gained ratio. Okay, so keep that bit in your mind. So, and partners also agreed for the following. What are those? The first one, the claim for workmen compensation has been estimated at 1,50,000. So now 1,50,000 is the claim, but how much is the reserve? They have only 1,20,000. So the remaining 30,000 have to come from partners. Okay, the reserve has been only 1,20,000, but the compensation has been 1,50,000, right? So the 30,000 has to come from the pockets of old partners. This is very important. Second point, adjust the capitals of the partners, okay, and according to new profit sharing ratio by opening partners current accounts. Somebody asked me in the class, how do I know that this has to be treated through current accounts? Because it is mentioned in the question. Okay, so also keep in mind, when a new partner joins the partnership, there are two things that happen. First, we have to adjust for goodwill. Among other things, we have to adjust for goodwill, and the new partner brings in capital. Okay, so these are the two things we have to keep in mind, and these are the two adjustments we also, among others, we need to be making in this sum. Okay, let me quickly go back to the notes. So this notes was sent by one of the students after we did this in sum, and the person copied it in their notebook and they sent me the PDF version of it. So thank you for that person as well. Now the first and foremost thing we need to be doing is, since there is a mention of goodwill which is given in the sum, that is 1,80,000, what we need to be doing is we have to calculate calculation of sacrificed and gain profit share. Now before you do that, as I always taught you, please write this old and new ratio and the goodwill amount, so that you don't have to look at the question every time. Okay, if you go back and see that in the first line we have the old ratio 4:3:1, and just below the balance sheet here you have the new profit sharing ratio, right? So, and the amount of goodwill is 1,80,000. Take these three information and make sure that you put it in your answer script, so that you don't have to go back to question paper again so many times. Right, now we all know the calculation of sacrificed or gained profit share formula, which is not written here, but since we have done this so many times, you would know that it is the old profit share minus new profit share. So I am going to write this in a fractional way, so that it will be easy for me to get the old profit share and subtract it from the new profit share. Okay, so how do I make this into a fraction? It is very easy and simple, as I already told you. In the denominator here, keep in mind that you would have, let me just pull up a pen, so maybe a highlighter would do. Yeah, let me change the color, just give me a minute. How do I change the color of it? sorry. Okay, this color will do, no problem. So the calculation of sacrificed and gained profit share. So I'm going to take for each of these person and explain to you how that works. So for Ram, that is 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 10, right? So 10 is in the denominator. And for Ram, his share is only 4. So 4 in the denominator. 4 divided by 10 is the old share. And the same way you do it for the new one. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, you have 10 in the denominator. And for Ram, it is only 1. Okay. So when denominator is in same, which we call as like fraction, we do it in a very easy way. What it is keep the same denominator, 10, 10 both the sides, so keep that 10 as a denominator. Then 4 minus 1, we have 3. So 3 divided by 10. So do the same thing for Mohan as well. 3 divided by 10 minus 2 divided by 10, you have 1 divided by 10, right? So do it for Sohan, do it for Harry. There are 4 partners. So what you would get out of this is that you will have some fractions which are positive, like Ram and Mohan. As I told you, positive fractions, we take them as sacrifice, which means these partners are giving up their share of profit to the new partners who are coming in, or the partner who is just coming in, or the old partners who are gaining some more shares. Okay, so here in this case, Sohan and Hari are losing their, gaining their profit share. Okay, that is why we have them in the negative. As I told you, if you have a negative balance, you have to write as gain. So once this step, which is very important step, first step is over, you have to go to the second step, which is you have to calculate the amount for adjustment for goodwill. How do you do that? The amount for goodwill is 1,80,000, and take that amount for each of these person, calculate Ram, Mohan and Sohan and Hari, 1,80,000, 1,80,000, 1,80,000, 1,80,000 and 1,80,000. And now you calculated the sacrifice and gain share for each partner. So take this amount that is given here for each partner and calculate it with 1,80,000. So Ram, 1,80,000 into 3 divided by 10. You cancel 1 0 here, from 1 0 here, we are left with 18,000. 18,000 into 3, you are going to have 54,000. Same way for Mohan, you take 1,80,000 and his share of sacrifice is 1 divided by 10. Take 1 divided by 10 and do the same thing here. And for Sohan and Hari, do the same thing as well. Okay. So what you get out of here is the calculation for adjustment for goodwill. Okay. So each of these partners have, this is the amount of goodwill they have. Okay. So that is the meaning of it. Okay. So the next step that you are supposed to do is we have to write this into a journal entry. As I told you, the gaining partners have to be debited. Don't forget this very important rule. Gaining partners have to be debited and sacrificing partners have to be credited. What it means is, the implication of it is that these partners are gaining shares and they have to give some amount of money in the form of goodwill to the partners who are sacrificing their shares. Okay, that is a practice that has been there for many years, right? Which I have explained to you in the class. So Sohan and Hari, these are the gaining partners. They are here, 18,000 and 54,000. So I debit this. And Ram and Mohan are the sacrificing partners from whom the share is being taken out and given it to the other two partners. So 54,000 and 18,000 respectively. Okay, so do not forget to have this journal entry. Then let us come back to the revaluation account. So if you go back to the sum and see, usually there are a lot of adjustments. Okay, it will be like A, B, C, D, E, F, so many adjustments will be given. But in this sum we have only 2 adjustments. One, there is a claim for workman compensation reserve, which is given in the sum as 1,20,000, but the claim has been estimated to be 1,50,000. Okay, so 30,000 have to come from the partners their own pocket, right? So those 30,000 is a loss. Okay, all the losses I told you have to be debited. Okay, it is not written here. It is a debit account, and this side is a credit. Okay, so if you are writing your classwork, please make sure that follow the format properly. This is not written, but it's fine. So workman compensation reserve is 30,000. Here 30,000 as a loss, so we put it in the debit side. And if you do the calculation, you will realize that if you go back to the sum, you realize that there are no more entries for revaluation account. Okay, that's all is given. Okay, this information, first information A given, and B is not something that we need to worry about now. Okay, so just with the revaluation, only one item is available, and you tally the balance up. You have 30,000, so bring the 30,000 down. So revaluation loss, which is 30,000, on this side we have to take this and share it to the partners in their old ratio. You remember that I told you, whenever you have a loss in revaluation account, share it to the partners in the old ratio, and as well as whenever you have profit in the old ratio, you have to share it to the old partners in their old ratio. Okay, so since we have a loss here of 30,000, we have to share it to the old partners in their old ratio. Okay, so 30,000 you divide it in the old ratio, that is 4, 3, 2, 1 into 3 4 partners. Okay, so that's about the sum that we have already done so many times in class. And the new part that many of you are confused is in this account called the partners capital account. Okay, it is very, very simple, but since you have not done a lot of sums on that, this might look a little difficult, but I can tell you it is very, very easy. Okay, it is all to do with the calculation, and you have to just stick to what I am telling you now. Okay, so now partners capital account has to have this format, and both on the debit side and the credit side as well. Write particulars and Ram, Mohan, Sohan and Hari, and for on the credit side as well you have Ram, Mohan, Sohan and Hari. Okay, do not change the format because it will make it easy for you to do the sum actually. Now go back to the question. In the question we have the capitals of these 4 people. Take this capital, this is the first step, don't mess it up. Take this capital, okay, and bring it to the credit side of the partners capital account and just write as it is. For Ram 4 lakhs, for Morgan 4,50,000, for Sogan 2,50,000, and Hari 2 lakhs. That is the first step. Okay, the next step you are going to do is you go back to the revaluation account, which is here. So revaluation, there is a loss, and the loss has been shared to all these 4 partners: 12,000, 9,000, 6,000, 3,000, right? So 12,000, 9,000, 6,000 and 3,000. Since it's a loss, I am writing it on the debit side for in the name of revaluation account. Okay, that is the second step. Third step is we go back to the journal entry we wrote. Okay, post this journal entry. I hope you know how to post the journal entry. Okay, so Sohan capital account, Hari's capital account are debited, right? So just a minute, I'll put that pen because somehow if I do that, no, it will be just give me a minute. Just a minute, sorry. Just a minute, sorry for this. Yeah. I have Abby. Okay, now you take this amount from Just give me a minute. Take this journal entries and post it in the partner's capital account. So Sohan's capital account is debited, Harry's capital account also is debited. So quickly you come here, and on the debit side of the partner's capital account, write Ram's plus Mohan's account. On for Sohan and Hari, you write the amount accordingly. Don't mess this up. Okay, Sohan 18,000 and Hari 54,000. And you come back to the journal entry. Ram's capital account credited, Mohan's capital account is credited. So go to the credit side and write Hari plus Sohan, and for Ram and Mohan you write 54,000 and 18,000 accordingly. Okay. So the next step is very important. What is the next step? You have to calculate new capital. Okay, till here. Okay, the calculations that you have done above this bar so far is clear, right? So before you go any further, what you must be doing is you need to be calculating new capital. Okay, the rest of the information that are given here below this bar will need to come out of a calculation called calculation of new capital. Okay, how do you do that? It's very easy. The first thing you're supposed to do is you write for these 4 people whatever you have on this side, that is the credit side, right? You have to add it, and whatever you have it on this debit side, you have to subtract it. Okay, so let us take for Ram, single person. Let us say for Ram, he has 4 lakhs and 54,000. So on the credit side, he has got 4 lakhs and 54,000. So 4 lakhs plus 54,000. On the debit side, he has got 12,000. So minus 12,000. You can do the calculation. 4,50,000 minus 12,000. We have 4,42,000. Same way, you will do it for all the other partners. Okay, Mohan has got 4,50,000 plus 18, and on this side he has got 9,000. We have to subtract it. So 4,50,000 plus 18,000 minus 9,000, we have 4,59,000. Similarly, for Sohan and Harry also do it. You will have these balances. Okay. The next step is you are supposed to add up all these values. Add up all these values, which will come to which will add up to 12,17,000. So 70,000. Now the new ratio is, as we have already written it, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So take this total amount 12,70,000 and divide this total amount according to the new ratio. Okay, 12,70,000 into 1 divided by 10, 0, 0 cancel, we have 1,27,000. And for Mohan, it is same 12,70,000 into 2 divided by 10, 0, 0 cancel, then 1,27,000 into 2, we have 2,54,000. Do the same thing for all of these people. Okay, so you will have a balance. So the next step is take these balances: 1,27,000, 2,54,000, 3,81,000, 5,08,000. Take these balances and write it here on the debit side of the partner's capital account as balance carried down. Don't forget that. Okay, for each of the partners accordingly, 1,27,000 and 2,54,000 as it is given. Okay, that is the fourth step. Okay, the next step you are supposed to do is, now you have to tally the total of both the sides. Okay, whichever has the highest amount, we have to write it down here. Now for Ram and Mohan, credit side has the highest amount. So 4 lakh plus 54,000, 4,54,000, I am writing it down here. And 4,50,000 plus 18,000, 4,68,000, I am writing it here. But for Sohan and Hari, debit side is high. Okay, so 3,81,000 plus 18,000 plus 6,000, 4,05,000, and 5,08,000 plus 54,000 plus 3,000, we have 5,65,000. Okay, so because of these, what happens is that the current accounts will change. Okay, we'll talk about that a little later. But make sure that you write the balances for Ram 4,54,000 on both the sides, Mohan 4,68,000 on both the sides, and Sohan 4,05,000 on both the sides, and Hari 5,65,000 on both the sides. Okay, so once you do that, the next step is you have to get the balance. What do I mean by that? For Ram and Mohan, take this 4,51,000, subtract from this total 1,27,000 and 12,000. You will have 3,15,000. You will have 3,15,000. You will have 3,15,000. The same thing you do. Take 4,68,000 minus 2,54,000 minus 9,000. You will have 2,05,000. Okay, and come to this side for Sohan and Hari. Okay, and this you can put hyphen, and 4,05,000 minus 2,50,000, you have 1,55,000, and 5,65,000 minus 2 lakh, you have 3,65,000. Okay, so now what it means is this, that Ram must have to just 1 minute, bring to business 3,15,000, and Mohan has to bring to business as capital 2,05,000, and Sohan and Hari has to take out of business, because already they are having a little more money in the business, 1,55,000 and 3,65,000. That is the meaning of it. How do I write it in the balance sheet? Okay, so far it's clear, right? So the next step is you start writing the balance sheet. To do the balance sheet, first write the capitals, which we have already calculated, which we have already written here, the balances, all these 4 balances. Take them and put them all here. Okay, don't change a thing. The total has to be 12,70,000. Okay, and current account, as I told you, it is a liability side. Okay, those who have to take the money out of the business, Sohan and Hari 1,55,000, 3,65,000. You write it under current account, Sohan and Hari 1,55,000, and said 3,65,000, 5,20,000. Okay, and claim against workmen compensation reserve. The whole 1,50,000 has to come. The reasoning behind this is that the claim has been made. Okay, we have not given the money. That information is not available. There is a claim, and we need to set that money aside. Okay, so however the claim is. So in this case, it is 1,50,000. So you take that money aside and you put it there. Okay. So on this side, let me go to the balance sheet. Fixed assets and current assets, there are no changes. So I am taking this 9 lakhs and 5,20,000 as it is, and I am just putting it here. And for current accounts, go back to the partners capital account. Rams and Mohans 3,15,000 and 2,05,000. They have to bring in this much of money to the business. So the money is going to come inside the business. So it is asset to the company. So write it on this side. Ram 3,50,000 and Mohan 2,05,000. Totally 5,20,000. So if you have done all these steps, and you add up the values on both the sides, you will have 19,40,000. So this is about it. So if you have not understood certain parts of this video, go back to it again and watch it, and more importantly, practice it by doing it, so that you will have a better grasp of the idea. So thank you. All the best for the exam.